Okay, so quick thing at the beginning of this, I'm gonna say, for your guys' reviews from now on, it's gonna basically be me probably building off of this repo that I'm gonna have linked in the description below. The repo is basically just gonna be like FICD. Not mean to CD that far. No, CD that is it's gonna be called Review Spring 2022, and it's gonna be like a Rails on React project. But for this review, we're just gonna be dealing with React. We won't have any Rails component because you guys haven't learned that yet. Just know that when you guys go into that repo, if you guys do go into that repo, that currently it is formatted on the assumption that it will be used for Rails on React later on. So if you guys like see like all of this stuff, just the things that we are primarily dealing with is going to be in the client folder for this review. So you would just be looking at the client. I think I can do this branch. Right. So before every review, I'm gonna try to like make sure everything works. And then I will make a new branch. That's so like if you guys see multiple branches, the first review is going to be the code for this that I will be going over basically doing this review. Master is going to be what I will push up to at the end, and it will be probably different than what's in like each individual branch because it will be changed as you guys ask questions. If you guys ask questions, I'm going to close that because I don't know how to answer that. So first I'm going to do a yarn start, just so like this will like be kind of there. So the prep work I did before doing this is I made the React and the Rails. I got rid of stuff in the app.js, so that's why this is just that at the moment. I'm gonna walk you guys through kind of what I do when I make a project. First things first is I basically try to compartmentalize my like files that are going to be made. So like I'll generally have like a components, which is like stuff that you're gonna probably repeatedly use. Another folder that you would probably want is like a pages folder, so that you kind of keep your pages separate. And then within these, you can kind of like add separate folders within them. Like if you had like a users page, you would like just add like a new users folder. And did not mean to rename. Okay, folder, users. Okay, it's just appending that. Okay, I don't know. I probably just need a file here, pages. Okay, I've I've never made a folder with an empty folder, so I've never saw that before. But I'm gonna rename this to be home real quick. Just then I'm gonna have an about JS, and then we're gonna cover a bit. We're gonna kind of like do a small review on functions. That might not be like an actual page itself, and just be like a thing that we want to node, but just gonna have that there, and I'm gonna temporarily delete the users because we don't really need it. Another thing you guys might want to up there. Another folder you guys might want is maybe like routes. If you guys are gonna like separate out your guys' routes to be different files, you guys could have it all in one file. I'll get into that a bit later. But so I haven't added anything to this yet. So I'm gonna add React Router DOM. So I have React Router DOM on this project. And I'm gonna do a yarn add @co so I can do @co's calls. And these should be done in the client when you guys are actually working on React router, like React on Rails, only because the client is where basically all your React stuff will be. The main project folder, if I just go back out, this is going to be like basically your Rails backend. So that one's on like a different system. So like you would be doing bundle here to like grab all the kind of like dependencies that React on Rails on like that Rails would want. And then when you cd into client, this is you're going to be doing a yarn here, and this is grabbing all the like node modules that React would want. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here. So first things first, right now these are kind of empty, but if you're gonna add React router to your guys' project, you guys gotta change this to React router, browser router. Change this one too. And then that makes it change. You can add it here, or you can like wrap it around your app.js. Like you just basically want it to be wrapping around the routes that you're going to be having. So you could have like browser router here if you wanted, but I tend to like kind of keep it on here so I can just kind of like not worry about it here. Kind of keep this one kind of more clear. Gonna remove this. So moving on. These are fragments. They don't function as div, but when you're like, but it basically is like it's a form of a parent wrapper that you can have, so that if you didn't want to do a div, you could do these empty fragments, and then you could technically write fragments in them. Some people do it. I kind of leave them empty. When you're doing a full return, you can only return one object. So the wrapping it in the fragments or a div allows you to kind of like return multiple things because it's only returning the div. It sees it as it's only returning the div, but like, or in this case, fragments, but everything inside of it was still one because it treated as one thing, if that makes any sense. Instead of having like separate lines of, instead of having like separate functions that it's running, it's just running through that one div that has stuff in it, but it only sees like, it makes kind of sense. I'm probably not explaining it very well. Okay, so I guess first thing in the components is going to be like an fbar.js. And then over here, we're going to want to import React. I'm gonna repeat. Tab complete is nice, but make sure that you're tab completing the correct thing. Make sure that what you're importing kind of matches what it should be. Like what you're expecting, because if you tab complete and let's say you had like, if I'm trying to import pages, not pages, about from pages, which it won't technically auto import at the moment. If what you're pointing to over here don't match up with the folder structure, it won't point to the correct file. And then you might run into an error where it's like, I can't find about because it doesn't exist where you're pointing at. Good thing to note is that a // is basically, it's going to be looking at the current folder. So this would just be looking at component. And then if you do a // it tabs it back out. And VS Code is nice in that it will kind of show you kind of like what's available where you're current, like where your path is currently at. Like if I want to go to pages, and then I would do another / and then it's like I want about. And being able to do that and kind of like navigating to the file is a good skill for debugging, because if your thing says it's not able to find a thing, being able to like look at your import, making sure that the import is fine, is basically one of the first steps you should be trying. If it says can't find a certain component from your thing. So moving on, const navbar is equal to anonymous function.
How did you get
Okay.
your left side to line up like that?
Hmm?
How did you get your left side to line up like that?
Or what, like what left side?
Navbar client, open editors.
This?
Yeah, yours looks different from mine.
Um,
Just like the layout and format of it. Did you change anything?
no, this this is for the most part just kind of like stock VS Code. Um, because you're talking about like over here, right?
Yeah, just like how yours looks and how it's formatted, it looks kind of clean. I was just wondering if I could change mine, but no worries. That's just what my question was.
Okay. I think part of those might be like themes. If you have different theme, it might format it differently. Like I'm guessing whichever theme I have currently is saying these
Yeah,
are
yeah,
JavaScript
that's
files. I've seen other themes where it doesn't do that, and I just kind of like, that's different, and I don't like it as much. um, but okay. So gonna have a nav bar. This is gonna have, okay, so really quickly, I guess we also, okay, so this is gonna be kind of messy. Okay, so we have navbar, and then we're gonna make our routes. So I wanna const routes is equal to, and then this is gonna be an array. How I kind of format my routes when I'm doing stuff is like, well, you're gonna have a path key, and then like basically what path is gonna look like. Then you're gonna have like a name for the path because you kind of like want to know where you're going. So this is gonna be home because it's a dot slash. I'm gonna capitalize that just so that it will make sense a bit later. This is gonna be like a path to your the functions page, so functions, and then this is gonna be function. And then this is gonna be the about page, and then this is gonna be like about. So that is formatting there. So I guess going back, our nav one is gonna need a return, so I'm gonna really quickly put that in right now. Another fragment, and then in here we're gonna want to render our routes, like links to these. So I'm gonna have a function that's gonna be like const options is equal to that. And then this is gonna be like returning a route stop map, because I'm gonna map over these and make these into links. And then in here, I would have route, and then this is gonna return route, and not route, return an A tag, because you can make these more fancy, but or have different kind of things. I'm going with A tags only because A tags is generally used for like links and stuff, I believe. So I'm gonna add a key. When you're mapping, you want to have a key property in whatever you're mapping, only so that the map, you'll get a warning if you don't, which I can show you in a bit. I'm gonna open up the console real quick. I'll show you what happens if you don't have a key and the one that you'll get, and then show you why you guys would kind of want a key. So this is gonna be route.name, because all of my names up here is unique. Your keys has to be unique. They can be like IDs and stuff. If all your IDs are going to be unique, or like it could be emails, it could be anything, as long as the element you're making your key, as long as all of them is unique. This is going to be an href, and then I'm going to navigate to route path, because that's going to be how it's going to navigate. And then within the A tag, I want route.name. And then in here, I want to call my options. And then I'll just save that, go over to app.js, add my nav bar. Wait, did I export? I have not exported. Remember to export your things, otherwise you can't auto import them in a sense, as well as it won't let you kind of call them. So export default navbar, because that is the main thing that I'm going to be exporting from here. And then navbar. And you see how this address is going, app is looking at /, so it's looking within this folder, it's looking at the folder within this folder, and then it's looking at navbar. That's how it's formatted. If navbar was in a different folder, it would be a different path. /, because we want our navbar to be self-closing, and then now we have a navbar. It doesn't really do anything. It doesn't show any new pages because our about pages and stuff aren't set up in a sense.
Can you go back to not the nav bar, but the other one where you did the nav bar? Or yeah, nav bar. All right, thank you.
Okay. This is being recorded, so if you want to look at specific code, the video should be up over the weekend. But I guess right now is you can see how it's changing which page you're looking at. You might not want these to be A tags with an href because that forces a refresh later on. But at the moment, this is kind of fine, I believe. It's just I don't think your data would be saved consistently through, because you can kind of tell this is refreshing every time. There's nothing, so it's refreshing kind of quickly. If you wanted to clean up your navbar file a bit better, this is where my routes folder comes in. You could name this navbar routes.js, and then kind of copy this out, Control X, and then paste it here, and then just export this. Also see on the process. And then over here you would import it as I guess routes from, and then to show you guys, I want to go back a folder and then back another folder. I want to go to my routes and then navbar. That if you didn't want to auto import, that is how you would go about it. Otherwise, I believe I can just go here, put SNS, and then making sure that you're highlighting the correct option, push tab, and then it will just add that automatically. Let's see, why is that out there? So that's a way of cleaning up your code, and you can move kind of objects outside of it if you're gonna be reusing these. It's I could have just named this route, and then make sure I change that to routes. I currently have my thing so that it kind of auto updates my imports if I change a file. That might not be the best settings to have on, depending on what you're doing, but it is a setting you can turn on. So yeah, auto updated this to routes. This is updated to routes, and then that's exporting this, and then we're importing it over here. So then over here, just to show you that it didn't really affect this, I can refresh this, and it's yeah, my about stuff is to here. If I wanted, I could directly manipulate this to be about 2. And then change the path to out 2, save that, and then I have an about 2 now, which then works. So it kind of makes separating your stuff out can make it kind of easier, because then you don't have to scroll up and down through this code just to mess with your array of routes. I'm gonna quickly get rid of that because I don't need it. Save that, and about 2 is gone. Going back to app.js. We're gonna have our routes, capital R route, and we want to make sure that we're grabbing it from React Router DOM. Close that, and then this is going to be basically where it's going to be rendering our things. You want basically cover R out here. Make sure that you highlight the correct option so that it's importing. Check your imports whenever you auto-complete something in case you imported something that you didn't want. Gonna self-close that real quick. So that's gonna be path is equal to, and then slash. This path is basically just telling like React kind of like what it should see in the nav bar and then what it should be when doing. So like dot slash is generally home. So like this is gonna be like element is equal to so I don't have this set up yet, but it'll be like home. So if you're typing these out, it should generally auto import a component. But home currently doesn't have anything, so it can't really auto import. So I'm gonna quickly make this page. Import React. Push. If you want to quickly go to the end of a line and it's your only line, push down key. It scoots you to the very end. And then I guess const home, capital home is equal to that. And before I forget again, export default home. Save that. In here, I want to return. And then this is just going to be like, I guess, fragments. Each one. Spring. 2022 full-time review. Save that. Home is not defined. So that's where this is. I want to import home, save that, and then we have home page. Functions is still blank and about is still blank. So I'm going to quickly not copy this one. Go over to my home. Do a Control A here, copy this, go into my about, paste, and functions paste. But before I finish up there, I'm going to change this to about, just so that these are different, and then change this one to functions, and then export functions. Save that, and then I'll update this to be something else, I guess. About page. Then this is just going to be functions. And then if I go here, review functions, I don't think I actually have to set up yet. So option shift down to repeat a line. I'm going to change this to be functions. Did I type functions? Functions, yep. Tab, and then about tab. So now those are imported. You want to change the about to these, so this is going to be functions. Quick thing, your paths here and your path on your routes should be the same. Otherwise it will, like, if I had like this just the function and I went to it, it doesn't load only because this link and what this is looking for aren't the same. Gonna quickly add about here. So then when I go to about, it's, yeah. Gonna give you guys a word of warning now. Unless I do styling outside of the review, this is basically the terribleness that you're gonna see for like as far as how the page is gonna look. I'll try to style it outside of the review to make it look a bit better than like a white page with black text on it, but no promises. So that is, I guess, a quick rundown of like React Router. Could you guys see my screen? Because Zoom just told me that you guys can see my screen now.
I see you.
Okay. I got scared for a moment because it's like, how long has it been blacked out? And there are other like kind of cool things you can do with like React Router. Good resource to go to if you wanted to like look at more React Router stuff is just go to their page, and then like read the docs. This will like kind of walk you guys through like installation, overview of like stuff. You guys don't really have to care about the upgrading to resets because you guys shouldn't have had to deal with other React routers. But basically some of this is like new to me because they updated the React router kind of over Christmas, I believe. So like some of these is like changed. One cool thing that I will try to show you guys probably in like a later review is like these, like when you're calling the element, you can kind of like nest routes into these like not here, into these and like into like these, and then like have different routes within them that have different outlets to show different things. And yeah, but your guys's projects aren't that complex yet. You guys basically just only kind of like need this stuff. What is it? I guess I have another review repo if you guys want to like look at that later on as reference, which is the winter review one that I made last cohort for like the last cohort. That also has like the React router stuff, and I can link you guys I think the videos is just public on YouTube for DPL and in like the DPL channel, so you guys can go there, look at that review, and kind of like see a more in-depth review on like React router that also covers like different routing. Because later on when you guys have if I see that when you guys have like your backend, like when you guys are like having this stuff, like not just client, when you guys have everything else, you will kind of want to like, you might want to look at that review because it kind of covers routing and stuff for your guys' backend as well as your front end. I can review that with you guys later on in like a later review if you guys want, but just know that there's a video covering that on the DPL channel. Okay, so I guess I can show you guys what I mean by not having a key. So I'm just gonna go home real quick. So on the nav bar, I currently have it as a key off route.name, but if you got rid of this, if I control that and saved and refresh the page. Okay, it's not yelling at me. That is weird. Okay, I don't know why I had a filter. So you see this warning of each child on the list should have a unique key, and it's kind of telling you check the random method of navbar. So it's basically telling you that within this file, you have a map that isn't having a unique key. So a way to like get rid of that is by like having a key that is equal to a unique property of a thing. So in this case, all my names of my routes is unique. I could also have this be like path, and it should also take that. But like if I refresh this now, my warning goes away. If you ever see that warning, it's literally just adding a key and then like wow, like not wow, but like a unique indicator, and then it's like it goes away. Another way you could do that if you guys don't have like a unique indicator is by in your map over here, add a second property, call it like index or end. I shorthand it to index, and then have the key equal to that index, and then it should like function the same as if it was having a unique like key property. What that basically does is if I do a console.log on end, it basically just add an index number to each of these. So if you don't have unique properties, you guys can just add an index and then add that as a key to whatever you're doing. But because I do have unique indicators, I'm just gonna have to see well. And then okay. I do recommend getting into a habit of like kind of like compartmentalizing your things, because it can kind of get messy if you don't, and just having like clear folder structure of like where stuff is can help you and or your teammates look at specific files. Okay. Over here, I'm just not in the functions. Here. I'm just gonna, so I'm gonna, I guess, cover up part of your guys' homework of like getting books to show you guys stuff relating to it. Because Shawai had a question earlier about like where's that data, and I'll just show you guys kind of what I told her. Equal to, in case you guys didn't see like the message on Slack. Parentheses, square brackets. Doesn't I need to import that. These curlies is basically just telling me, not curly, those squiggles underneath is telling me that I haven't used them yet. So const get data. So I believe what James is currently teaching you guys is to have it be like you guys just have it as a regular function, and then in here you guys have like that res equal to axios dot get, and then like your guys' HTTP link, which I wonder, go here. I haven't graded anything. Ask them to go. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna type
taught
this.
us about
He
the
did
new
teach you guys
method,
the async method?
the async.
Or
Yeah,
okay.
he did teach us that, but a review would be great because I don't remember any of it.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly copy this from my notes and just hope I don't mistype anything. .in/API/users ? Delay =1. And I already see a typo. So you guys are doing the .zen. But like the other method is to just add an async here, and then in front of the axios do an await. And this async is telling your code that this is gonna happen at a different time, and it will give you the result when it gets the result. It's another way of handling promises, which is what you guys are doing when you guys are doing an axios.get. Need to import that. Not that one. Can I import the correct one? That one. So the async and await. The await is basically saying, wait here until I finish getting my thing. Whereas we'll get the data when the axios.get finishes. You can kind of have like multiple awaits. So, and then that will like kind of like make the thing like if I wanted to like have another await, I'll show you guys that. But first, console.log. Because I want to get rid of that squiggle. And then in here, I want to do a const window books real quick. have this, do that, and then I guess in here. Okay, wait, I'll show you guys this part real quick, but I gotta call get data somewhere. I'll finish typing up the render. Return books dot map, because I'm going to be mapping over my books, which I guess I gotta set books here. Set this to be res.data. I'll show you guys why it's res.data in a bit. It won't always be res.data, but for this API call at least, it is res.data. Put parentheses book equal. I know I've told some of you guys this, I'll repeat it again. Good practice is if your array over here is plural, put the singular form in here so that you can kind of keep track of what it is. Bit easier, it's better than like having this be like that and then like going, what is that? So I change this back to book. And then here, have another return. Parentheses. Good. I don't know if you can add a key to a fragment. So I want to say you should generally have, if you're mapping it in a div, to have it, if you need a div, like to have it as a div. And then book ID, and then in here, one, just gonna have this be book at the moment. Okay, and then let's see, have a button down here that gets book. But click. Remember to set up an anonymous function in here if you are trying to run something that is going to be doing something. You might run into like infinite re-renders. You don't need to stop the curly brackets at the end all the time. I need that one though. If you're just calling like a one line, or like if I'm just calling get data, you don't need the curly bracket. You can have the curly bracket if you want. It won't break anything, but you can just have it just be an anonymous function that's calling a different function. And then I guess I'll have render books done here. And then that should be a function as well. So really quick, I never filled in my button. Get books. Save, refresh. So, okay, so one thing you guys, I want to say it's kind of like good to get used to at the beginning. You might not use it as much later on. Is console log your guys' res. This shows you kind of like the format that you're getting your data back in. So like res is shorthand for response. So this is like let response equal array at series.get. So like this is the response that you got back in the website. So the reason why you guys currently have it as res.data.data is because when you look at your response, the first thing that you're going to go into is your data, because you don't care about your config generally. And you don't care about like your headers or the requests. I guess you could have the status if you want to make sure that it's fine, but like you generally don't deal with it. So your res, oh wait, this should be in a try catch, but I'll fix that in a bit. So res.data, so this is the first data. You see how like your information is formatted in data, page per page, support, total pages. You're looking at .data. So like over here, yes, first line is your res. you're looking at data and then data. So like these individual like down arrows is basically a period. You're looking at res.data to access the data within the response. Later on, you guys might not see like res.data for your guys' scene. You guys might just be looking at res.data. So like if you just did like res.data and like refresh this and then do get books again, you see how like my thing is not just like this and then data. It's because I'm already printing I went a layer deep already. And so I just need the data from this. So then that's where you guys are currently at res.data. For your guys' projects later on, it might just be res.data. Like unless you guys nest your data another way, it's generally just res.data. Gonna wrap this in the try real quick. If I can shift option, move up, and then this needs a catch, and then inside of here is showing error. You can shorthand it to error, and then console.log error. You guys will learn kind of later on, maybe like a more descriptive way of like writing out your errors. Like you could have like this be like error in get data. And then if you ever went into like a try catch error, it would give you a more probably descriptive thing than like error. I guess show you guys multiple ways was 2. I think I can just change this to like delay 2 and see what that gives me. So I guess that's going to be res, and then this is going to be res 2. So then you can have like multiple awaits, and it would kind of like get bugs. It will give you basically 2 set of data when it's done. So like I think these should be different. Data. George Booth, and that's George Booth. Just really quickly, I'm going to click on that and see. Okay, so that delay is just probably just telling it to wait a certain amount. So I'm going to quickly go to this website. Just go to grab page 2. So then I'll just change this page, save, go back here, refresh the page. So it says get bugs. I realize the URL that I have is getting users. I'll change that probably. So data. So now this res2 is a different data set than data 1, and you can like yeah, that's kind of how like you would kind of write. Like if you don't have an await here, I think you will run into an error if you were using it. Yeah, it tells you promise pending. It tells you that promise is fulfilled when it's finished, but because you don't have the await, you don't actually have like accessible data. So if you were to do it, I guess your guys' way, you would have a .then here, and then console.log. What's 2? I believe that should just be fine. Error and stuff data. Okay, so I actually do need to like make this into an anonymous function. Maybe not like a fully anonymous function, but actually not. I guess pass this was 2, because I'm pretty sure that this is promise, so I guess this is promise. And then this is console.log promise. It looks promise pending, and then it did. So the .then chaining is it's good, and I kind of prefer it over the await sometimes, but just know that await will just kind of like wait and then return to you like the entire data set, so you don't have to do like a dot then chaining. Because this is data set 2, yeah, ID 7. But yeah, so this is like one line. This is multiple lines of handling code. The await is newer. New is not always better, but some cases it can be. But yeah, so that's the difference between async versus not async. You would need to chain a dot then. Gonna get rid of list 2. Okay. Really quickly. It's just books. Yeah, okay, so I just changed this word to books. Fresh, get data, check my data, these are, is it returning me flowers? Huh. Well. Those are flowers.
They might be
Well,
color names.
oh, they are, but why is there a year
I
next
think
to
that
it?
happened to James. Yeah. Did you remove a letter?
I'm just gonna go here and scroll down. Can you guys have different data sets? Because I see users. jQuery.
Oh yeah, that is what happened with James. He removed the S and put user and it brought him to that.
Books. Okay, yes, I need to add API. No, we're just gonna go with the flowers. Not flowers. We're just gonna go with the colors because it doesn't matter to me. Okay. Okay, you know, I'm gonna change these to colors though, I guess. Set colors. This would have to be colors. When they're colors. Colors. And colors. And over here, color. I want that singular. Save that. Refresh this. My button. Colors. Refresh. Get colors. They still say book because it's currently book. Wrap this, get rid of that color. And get colors. Error and get data. Good. Oh, I think I need color dot name really quick. Go back, data. Yeah, I need name. Dot name. Refresh. Yeah, okay. So, okay. I'm gonna, I guess, use this kind of show you guys functions like over here with the colors. This actually probably works out. Really quickly change this res dot data so I can look at my res dot data. instead of trying to navigate through data every time. So I have a name, I have a color, Pantone value. I probably just care about the color. So trying to think. When you guys are writing out a function, guess I'm gonna have to say format color text is equal to that. Why did it become format text color? Oh, text. When you guys are writing a function, doesn't matter if it's here or in like a separate JS file. Just remember that in here is where you guys are going to be passing like properties. And the number of arguments, like argument 1, argument 2, that has to be separated with commas. Just remember that. That is just general formatting. I'm gonna camel case that. So I'm gonna have this, I guess, have a button here that is gonna on-click. This is gonna call the function of format text. So the on-click is gonna take information here. So this is not gonna be a like fully anonymous function. It's gonna like, I'm gonna pass it color ID and an object. No, maybe an object. And then in here, I want to call format text. Uppercase format text, and then parentheses, and then so this format text is going to be calling this format text. This format text is looking for 2 arguments. So just make sure you're passing in like 2 arguments. So like this should be colored already. Let's see. I guess, wait, I don't need this here. I'll just call it here because we're passing it color.id, and then we're gonna pass it some text, I guess, color.name. So the argument 1 and argument 2, we're passing it to color.color. Yeah, color.color. So we're passing it 2 arguments. One is going to be hex, and then they're both strings. One of them is going to be a hex. The other one is going to be the name of the color. So over here, we have argument 1, argument 2. So to make it more clear, this should be color. And then this would be text, like I guess name. You can name these whatever you want. It's generally more clear if you're using what you're calling it. Why is the Zoom people showing up every so often? So return. I guess I should kind of tell you guys what format text is gonna do. It's gonna return like the name in that color, hopefully. I'm assuming it's gonna take the hex. So like return, and then into brackets. Over here, h1. Okay, so right now they're not colored in because I haven't used those arguments yet. So like over here, I want to call name, and then name lights up. It knows that I'm using name, and then that is gonna take name and put it there. I believe I can just add style, and then another curly bracket and color, and then have this be color. And then save that. Each label with a button, something. add color text. I'm adding a question mark. Okay. On click format text, that is styling that. But so I'm calling this, but I'm not actually incorporating this anywhere because I'm returning this. Trying to think of the way that I would return this in a way that would move it correctly. Because I guess under colors, format text, this is returning that. I guess I could technically replace this with format text color. Do I want to do that? Because this is a function that's calling that. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna push 2 enters there. I'm wondering how I want to do this. This is a map, colors a map. This is a bad example of trying to show you. I guess calling functions and using functions, but I did not know that this would go that way. And so I guess trying to think. Could I have it try to change the background color or something? I would need to enter this somewhere. I'm gonna call this square. Oh, format text. You just call it down there. It's gonna do. Okay. So console.log. And format. Save. And format. And if I refresh the page, it says in format. Okay, so this is just not rendering how it should be rendering. I'm gonna wrap this in a if color, if not color. So if there was not a color, would return. And then that should get rid of the in format. But now if I do this, click one of these, it takes me to the in format, but it doesn't render below. Let's see, what if I have format text here? Save. Okay. Really quick to explain this if, it's just a really quick check to see if something is true. If something's not true, it just ends the function. If it is true, then it will move on and basically continue, because if there is another color, it will, so if there's nothing here, it returns color would be false, the exclamation gives you the inverse, and then becomes a true statement, and then it just returns. If there is a color, this becomes true, the inverse makes it false, and then it just continues. It's a way to kind of avoid else's. Some people use it, trying to start using it. That's to explain that. I'm really trying to figure out why this is not returning. I wonder. I'm gonna have a set state. I'm gonna have a new state. Have this be clicked, comma, set clicked is equal to new state false. On click, clicks that. I'm gonna have this comma. I'm gonna move. Set clicked to true. Set clicked. Set clicked. And edit call clicked. Yep. See if that breaks anything. That doesn't break anything. Push the page. If it shouldn't do anything, I don't believe. I don't know why it's not rendered. I wonder. If I just have this be an H1 that is saying hi, refresh, get colors, click. Wait, I realize I'm not actually passing props to this one and it's expecting props. Color.name. I'm just gonna remove this format text down here and just call it set clicked. Set that to true. Save that. Get a different error. Get colors. Set color text. Too many re-renders. Under colors, paste. Control X, moves that here. I won't like that because it doesn't like it in a function. I would have to move it to a separate component. Gonna move this in a way. Map. Trying to think of the way that I would do this. Go to that. I'll just have go to that. Go to that. I guess I should make sure. We're just gonna leave the button, but have formatted text just be there calling it. Fresh, so click find. Oh, right there. Yes. First things first, make sure the show color. Okay, show color is working now. What is it high? Okay. Okay. Format text, 2 arguments. That is working. I want to make that conditional, but I don't want to make a new component. Trying to think of a way. You could have a function that normalizes the data when you're mapping, makes a key for set clicked, and then adjust the key value for that. But I don't think I have enough time to show that today. But you would have basically a const, I guess set clicked. You would have click, set click, and then set this equal to use state, where this would be. Can I type? This would be in the way as well, and then in your get data, you would have, I guess, normalized. You would have a separate function that would be normalize. Click. Set that as parentheses. And then in here, you would call normalize click, pass it your res dot data dot data. So then this is expecting res, this is expecting data. And then with that data, I guess return data dot map. Set clicked. Set this to be an op, like have a, you can't have a function within these. So then in your set state, when you're setting something, you can set it to a function. So set clicked is equal to, and I'm not on this function of data dot map. I guess I need to return there. Return data dot map. An object. Okay, wait. This is me going. It's almost time to like close up, and I'm gonna wait. Okay. Gonna quickly get rid of that and just retype that because I don't want to figure out which bracket is wrong. Return set clicked. have that, equal that, return data dot map, in parentheses, that, info, just so that I'm not reusing data repeatedly. And then it would be and return. This is a lot of returns. It's probably not great. I guess. Clicked. Dot box. And that should set basically this. Yeah, it should give you a return of a map of your data that has the clicked information, I guess. Data, comma. I'll spread out data so that it's more. And then you would add an on click down here that would check the data. I guess you could have you don't need to normalize, you could just add the property of doing the set colors and just check the clicked information there in your set state and then change that state there. That's probably the more fluid way of doing it. So yeah. Oh. So right now, if I do a console log on, I guess, click. I do not want it there. I would want it probably here. Console log, click, refresh, get data. So then where is that console log? Line dirty. Our click information has that added in. Yeah. I don't know why I changed it to an object though. Okay, wait, I know why. I want this to be info. And that's really highlight, but I hope if I had actually noticed it wasn't highlighted. And then, yeah, okay. So now if I expand this, it shows the click, and then I can do the, I guess, button stuff. I don't need that. I can change this to color. And then get rid of the set colors and call this probably normalize colors. Change this to normalize colors and then change this to colors. Refresh, make sure that, okay, I broke something. Normalize color, what's the data, set colors. Single to data, go. Oh, wait, I'm calling color, no, wait. This one doesn't matter. I guess make sure console.log data. Refresh. Property, these, So that doesn't have the click information yet, but if I go here, I do a console log here for the colors. I believe that should have the click information. Like 38. 38. And then refresh, I guess, because I don't want to normalize. Color. Click. Yeah, click is added as a property. I'm gonna stop, I guess, here. Hey, James.